real quick on my phone. Hopefully it doesn't get too shaky for you so that I can give Elizabeth O2 a mid-year update on how we are liking this course, especially since the Good and Beautiful has 15% off today. I just want to get it out there for you in case that is a make or break decision. So jumping into it, I did ask my kiddo, I was like pulling teeth, but I asked my kiddo for some opinions on it and what they liked and didn't like. And so we'll discuss those and we'll discuss what I like. First of all, though, so we can get these out of the way, you get the course book and the reading booster C cards are the reading program separately. For this level of the cards, these two books are integrated into the cards. This is an extra reader that you can purchase to kind of add more practice. My kiddo loved that the reading program was separated out, that the books were integrated here and not with the course, because they moved through this a lot quicker than they did through the course. In fact, by lesson 27, they were done with the reading booster cards. So having these integrated here was really helpful because my kiddo actually really liked the stories here. They liked that they were a chapter book instead of a bunch of little stories. So the story continued and there was no more depth to it. That was really enjoyed. And as far as the reader, my kiddo enjoyed, this one is a bunch of stories, but they enjoyed it so much that as soon as they finished this one, they requested to read the other two that are younger, my second reader and my first reader. And kiddo said that these were great as well. So there's their opinions on the readers, opinions on I personally love that this is separated as well, because that allows more focus for the grammar and stuff in here. And then it allows your kiddo to read and then get into reading those higher level books, which will increase their ability to handle the coursework. So we're in level 2 of the course. My kiddo was in like a 4 or 5 of reading level. These were really enjoyed. So this kiddo did level 1 in the previous version, the previous edition, and level 2 in this new one. So I asked, from the old version to the new version, what do you think? The kiddo's exact words were, I love the new version. It went from having, let's see, language arts went from my least favorite subject to my most favorite subject by switching to this new edition. So I think that's a pretty huge plus. Getting into it, we have one of the things that was commented is that they really appreciate having the Letter Tiles app available. And available because the response was, I don't like using it all the time. Sometimes they want to use a whiteboard, or I have a keyboarding app on my phone that's just the QWERTY keyboard that you can just type, just a little QWERTY keyboard with a little space on top that shows them what they're typing. So sometimes they use that, sometimes they use the whiteboard, but they do like having this as an option. One of the other things, let's see if I can get into, I have some marked spots of things I want to talk about, but no, we'll just jump into those. It's fine. Okay, so one of the notes that my kiddo and I have noticed has made on something that they don't like is that they do not like when part of the things are filled in. So that O and the Y were here and L needed to be filled in. They do not like that happening because then they feel like the word is all stretched out and it's just not their favorite. They actually prefer when the book does this, just gives them a blank space for them to write. So that's something that they noted. They actually do not mind doing the sentence dictation. Let's see here, letter tiles. The kiddo likes doing the letter tiles. For these kind, definitely appreciates having just the letters to focus on for doing the words. So we'll go to, it says, go to the level 2, lesson 4, and then it just gives them the letters they need for these words. That is really appreciated. I also use the letter tiles or the keyboarding app or the whiteboard, because if there's ever a word that they're struggling with, I will make note of it on the next page and we'll practice it until they can get it correct 3 times, 3 separate days. And so I'll put it in here as practice after the reading booster cards. So that's when we pulled in the Letter Tiles app freeform letters or the keyboard or the whiteboard, just to be clear on that. When it came to these, they really liked the letter tiles. This is an example of an activity that I wanted to share that they liked, being able to cut it out and just paste it in rather than having to write it out. That was a fun feature. Here, I noted this one because they're having them read these words and then they have this little red fox, right? So it says, let's see, you will read the words on each row and then I will read you the name of and type of fox. Name of a type of fox. So they read the 3 words and then I read the name of the fox. What we did with this activity, because there was curiosity, once I read the name of the fox, they requested to know where it was. So every time we would read the name and then I would look up where in the world they are found. So read this, Arctic fox, where can you find Arctic fox, if that makes sense. So that just added an desire for my kiddo to read through the words to be able to find out what that fox is and where it's found. Here, I wanted to point out the geography book. My kid on the Homeschool app, the Good and Beautiful Homeschool app, they have these book videos that are super cute. It like flips the page and reads the story for them. And here we had to discuss it together, the reading comprehension questions. So my kiddo really enjoys doing the book through the app, the little video. It's kind of a fun way to do it. On some of these throughout the book, this one is discussion questions. Sometimes they'll have like multiple choice questions for them to do for reading comprehension. They kind of switch it up for them. And then we have all that. Let's see, we're gonna go to the next one. This watercolor, every time there's a watercolor project, I have a very excited kiddo that I think we end up doing the whole lesson and then saving this for another day to focus their energy and time just on the project so that they can enjoy it. And that's just something that works for us. Here I wanted to note this is something that I really like, is the audio narration for the images. I am not great at art study, so those have been so good to be able to give them something to talk through and work through with the video. Let's see, I'm trying to see if I've covered all of we can go over that at the end. Okay. This one, we're into unit 2 at this point. You can see that it went from blue to purple. This is a new unit. In unit 2, you start getting these reading comprehension little nature journals, which I think are so cute. They have this turtle one, and then they ask some reading comprehension questions here. And my kiddo, they had this one and then like a chipmunk one later on, and my kiddo was like, oh no, I don't want to do these all the time. But then the next one was super cute, so they weren't really sure about doing them over and over again, but they are a different subject every time, a different nature journal. And by the 3rd or 4th one, they were like, actually, I kind of like these because you learn quite a bit of information about them. And even though they didn't like the chipmunk one, I was hearing about all kinds of facts about chipmunks later on. So they're learning. In this case here, this is a note that my kiddo did not like. So this is a con. This is something they didn't like, but it's at your discretion what that will play for your kiddo. So this is my little essay, right? And it gives you partially filled in, something to trace, and then continue to fill in, right? So it's like prompting you to help you write the essay. My kiddo does not like having stuff partially filled in. See, we had to change this because my kiddo was stuck on, I don't make my bed each day. So we adjusted that. And then here I needed to step in and help with a sentence, and then eventually they were able to finish it off. My kiddo despises any time there is a trace the letters in their handwriting or in this, but that's just their preference. That's not necessarily something that's not great about it. That's their preference. And it's the same with the partially filled in. Upon further questioning, I was like, okay, well, would you like an open-ended essay question? And they were like, no. So the problem is the essay itself, not that it's partially filled in. So there was some understanding of, well, the essay questions, it would either be an open-ended essay question or partially filled in. They were like, okay, I'll take partially filled in. It's just, we compromised on not having them trace here. So there's that little spiel. It was mostly just, essay writing. Nobody really likes that. So here we are at lesson 66. This is how far we are in the book. My kiddo is really enjoying it. There are some things that looking forward in the course as we get going. So we talked about how they didn't like the essay, right? But my kiddos have all really enjoyed this particular writing workshop activity for language arts. So it's just topic based, right? They want to talk about themselves. Whether they want to answer an essay question that somebody else came up with is a different story. So here's an example of comprehension questions. Now, if you want to see more details of like what's on every page, I have a video that flips through page by page the entire course book that shows you a flip through of the nature reader and the booster C cards and books. So if you want an in-depth look at these, I will have that linked. I will link that in the description box for you. Let's go over making sure I covered all of the points that my kiddo stated. Let's see. Loved it. Like the story videos, like the option of the letter tiles. Oh, my kiddo actually commented, I think we talked about at the beginning, like that they liked having the reading program separated out. We talked about what they didn't like. Doesn't like the tracing letters and doesn't like the pre-filled things. So how's it going? It's going really well. We really like it. I really hope that this video was helpful for you. If we haven't met yet, hi there. I'm Elaine from On the Same Page Together. We are a Christ-centered home of learning, and on this channel, we talk about all things family. I will link to this course in the description box for you as well if you want to pick it up for your kiddo. And I really hope it was helpful for you and that you can catch that sale today. And I will probably, if you're interested, I will do a end of year review, how we feel about it, finishing it out. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye. Oh, how do I turn it off on my phone though? Yep, I do want to stop.